teriyaki chicken bowls so you can eat healthy through the week.
So first I'm going to take a cookie sheet and line it with foil, then spray it with nonstick cooking spray. Then you're going to add 2 large chicken breasts onto the cookie sheet. Next I'm just going to push that aside to get ready for my vegetables. Now in my teriyaki bowls I love broccoli and carrots, but you can use whatever vegetables you like. So I'm just going to chop up this broccoli into like bite-sized pieces. If you love broccoli, I would suggest using 2 heads of broccoli because it kind of shrinks down as it cooks. Then just put your broccoli right onto the cookie sheet. If you have big pieces, I'm breaking up a little just so I can have better bite-sized pieces. So you just put them all on, spread them out a little bit so they'll cook evenly. Next, I'm just going to take a bag of carrots and dump it on. Now you can use whatever carrots you like. If you want to peel and chop them, that's great. But I love to make my meal prepping super fast and easy. Then you're just going to spread them all out. They can go in between the chicken. You want them, all the carrots at least touching a little bit of the foil. Alright, there we go. Next, I'm just going to sprinkle on a little bit of salt and pepper. You can use any seasonings you like. We are going to put teriyaki sauce on it, so you don't need a ton of seasonings. Now, before I put it in the oven, I drizzled about 1 teaspoon of olive oil on one side of the carrots and 1 teaspoon on the broccoli. Bake it at 375 degrees for 45 minutes, and then about halfway through, make sure you stir your vegetables, mix that olive oil around so they don't burn. While that's baking, you can get your rice ready. I used minute brown rice. You can use whatever rice you want. So I cooked about 2 cups, so each person gets half a cup of rice. Now it's time for the chicken and vegetables. Now you can see that the broccoli shrunk quite a bit. Alright, so first I just cut my chicken in half so I would have my 4 servings. Then I kind of split my vegetables into 4 and put them into the containers. Then I just did the same exact thing with the carrots, kind of split them into piles and put them into the containers. Now with the chicken, you can leave it as big pieces, but I like mine bite size. It makes it a lot easier for me. So I chopped up my chicken. Then I just put it right on top of my vegetables, and I did it with each individual chicken and put it in each bowl. Now with the teriyaki sauce, you don't want to overdo it. I use Kinkelman's teriyaki sauce. It is my favorite, but I only use 1 tablespoon of it. If you use more than 1 tablespoon, you are getting a ton of sodium, so just a little bit goes a long way. I like to put my sauce on as I meal prep so the flavor can kind of mix around into the rice and into the chicken and vegetables while it's sitting in the fridge. So when you're done, you just put the lids on, you stick them in your refrigerator, and eat it for the next.
For Meal Prep Monday, I am making Southwest Burrito Bowls. Alright, let's go do this meal prep of our Southwest Burrito Bowls. So I'm going to take 1 package of lean ground turkey and some taco seasoning and cook those together in a skillet. While that's cooking, I just want to show you my new bento boxes I got on Amazon. I'll link it below for you, but they're perfect for the serving sizes that I use. Now I'm just going to get my 4 containers all ready to go so I can get my food put in. Now while my meat is browning, I have this Uncle Ben's whole grain Santa Fe medley that I cook. It only takes about 90 seconds. Then I'm just going to split it up into the 4 containers, so it's about a half a cup per container. Now I just eyeball it, so I just make it as even as possible. Next I'm going to add my salad. If you don't want to put your salad in yet, that's okay. I like my Southwest Burrito Bowl cold, so I just add about a half a cup to a cup of salad into each bowl. Now as I put the salad on, I'm also actually browning my meat on the side. Alright, once my meat is done, my taco seasoning is added. I'm just going to split that into 4ths and just add it to each bowl. Now this was 1 pound of lean ground turkey, and so each serving will have about a 1/4 pound of ground turkey. Now if you don't like the taste of ground turkey, you can easily use ground beef instead. Next, I'm going to add my corn. So this is low sodium canned corn. I love when I can use fresh corn when it's in season, but when it's not in season, I just use the canned. So I use about 1/4 of a can for each bowl. The next ingredient is your favorite salsa. I love the fresh salsa or the pico. You can get it at any grocery store. You can make it yourself. There's hardly any calories and it just adds that boost of flavor for you. So I added about 3 tablespoons into each bowl. And then last, I just added a little bit of cheese onto each bowl, about 2 tablespoons. Not a lot, but I really like cheese. Now I'm going to put this Taco Bell mild sauce on top, and it's great because there are no calories, no fat, no carbs. There's only a little bit of sodium. So it's perfect if you're trying to lower your calories. Now I add my taco sauce as I'm about ready to eat it. So when you're all done, you just put the lids on, you pack them on top of each other or however they fit in your fridge, and you are good to go. Now these should last you about 5 to 6 days in the refrigerator. So in total, this has 401 calories, 44 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fat, and 36 grams of protein. Be sure to comment.
When the food budget is tight, it can feel much more difficult to make healthy food choices. Here are some tips to help you make the most out of your family's food budget. Firstly, it helps to plan ahead. Think about the healthy, affordable foods that are available to you, and then try making a meal plan for the week ahead. Adding dry beans, split peas, lentils, and other vegetarian protein sources to a meal increases the total protein or building foods in that meal without increasing the cost too much. Every week, plan on including meals that use vegetarian protein sources like beans instead of meat or chicken. Beans and soy products like tofu can also be cooked and mixed with meat or chicken in savory dishes. This will improve the overall nutritional value of the dish because it'll have less fat and more fiber. And this will also reduce the cost of each serving. Drink clean, fresh water instead of sweetened drinks when you're thirsty. Most people need 6 to 8 glasses of water every day to stay healthy. Foods that are less processed are often less expensive because they don't have fancy and expensive packages. These less processed foods are usually healthier too. Choosing vegetables and fruits that are in season will make it more affordable to eat enough of these important health-protecting foods. For example, peaches are less expensive in the summer months because they're plentiful at that time of year. Apples and oranges are more plentiful in the winter months, so these fruits are good choices for winter treats. Fruits that are overripe can be cooked or mashed and mixed with cereal to add extra vitamins and natural sweetness to the morning meal. Leftover food can be added, maybe with some extra vegetables, to make a delicious, healthy soup for the next day's meal. When you start preparing dinner, start by cooking 1/2 of a chopped onion in a small amount of vegetable oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pot. This is an inexpensive way to add flavor to any soup or savory dish, and good flavor increases your enjoyment of the meal. When you're eating on a budget, enjoy smaller amounts of healthy food instead of larger amounts of foods that are low in nutrients. Nutritious foods will leave you and your family feeling satisfied for longer, and they'll also protect your health.
It's not what you eat, though, but what you absorb. Check out this study on long-term raw foodists. This study was done in Europe, so the average Western diet here wasn't terrible. 4 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, versus a better diet, 7 servings a day of fruits and veggies, both raw and cooked, versus a raw food diet, in which they ate, on average, a whopping 17 servings of fruits and veggies a day, leading them to have about 3 times the beta-carotene intake. But that's intake. How much of it actually got into their bloodstream? Blood beta-carotene is considered a good surrogate marker for a healthy diet. tell me what your blood beta-carotene level is, and I'll tell you what your health risk is. So who had the most beta-carotene in their bodies? Those eating 4 servings a day, 7, or 14? It was the middle group, the 7 servings a day group, because cooking can boost the absorption of phytonutrients like beta-carotene, like the cooked carrots having more antioxidants than raw. The raw foodists here were eating 17 servings a day, and basically had the same amount of this phytonutrient reaching their internal organs as those on the crappy standard diet. So I recommend a combination of raw and cooked foods.